All right, picture this. You're in a room, and the only thing on the agenda is extinction. Your extinction. Sounds intense, right? Well, that's exactly where we're headed today, to witness a choice that no one should ever have to make.
So let's set the scene. We're in the Resonant Council's Great Chamber. This place is supposed to glow with this warm golden light, but not today. Today, it's this cold, almost sickly blue light, and it's reflecting off the faces of thousands of survivors crammed into every possible space. You can just feel the fear in the air.
And if you look up, it gets even worse. There are these huge holographic maps floating in the air, and they're not showing good news. You've got red pulses where their colonies used to be, just gone. The enemy front line is just creeping forward. And their homeworld, Kaelor, it's literally cracking apart. The planetary lattice is unstable. There's no sugarcoating it. They're losing this war badly. Just when you think all hope is lost, this one voice cuts through the silence. It's Elder Talrian. Now, this guy is a hardened military leader, and he's already lost 3 sons fighting. He looks right at their leader, Rayla, and for just a second, there's a spark of hope in the room as he praises her for a recent, hard-won victory. Rayla, she lets that hope just hang there, lets them feel it for a beat. And then, her voice is steady, but you can tell she's exhausted. She just crushes that hope with one simple word. And here's why. She brings up the data, the cold, hard facts. That great victory they just had, that was against 1 enemy fleet. What's coming next? The Yeleth are sending 10 new fleets. And oh, by the way, each one of those 10 fleets is twice as big as the one that almost wiped them out. The math is just, it's impossible.
And as if that wasn't bad enough, the superweapon that saved them last time, this thing called the Decoherence Choir, it's a suicide button. Firing it is like setting off a bomb in your own house to kill a burglar. It literally tears their planet apart. So if they use it again, they win the battle but lose, well, everything. Which leaves them with one absolutely gut-wrenching choice. Run. Leave their home of 10,000 years and just escape into the void.
Okay, so you can imagine the room just explodes, right? People are shouting, protesting, but then Rayla drops another bombshell. She tells them she died. During that last battle, she had a near-death experience, and she saw it all. She saw every possible future, every single path they could take, and every single one where they stay and fight, it ends the same way. Obliteration. Their world turned to crystal, silent forever.
But the council pushes back. How can we flee, they ask. We sealed the gate. It was their only way out of the system, this massive Stargate. They locked it down for protection. And that's when Rayla has to tell them the truth, a secret she's been holding on to that's just devastating.
You see, right before they sealed that gate, they heard these awful, terrifying sounds coming through it. They thought it was the enemy, but it wasn't. Rayla explains that those were warning calls from their outer colonies, their own people screaming for help. The elite had hacked the signal, twisted it into something horrifying to trick them. They literally scared them into locking their only escape route from the inside.
Think about that for a second. It's a brilliant evil strategy, but it raises a really, really scary question. If the front door was locked, how did the monster get inside the house?
The answer is just chilling. The enemy, they don't need a door. Their biggest ships, these things called cathedral forms, they don't travel through space-time, they fold it. They're not just ships, they are living, breathing gateways. They are the gates.
And you can just see the weight of that realization hit everyone, but especially Elder Talrian, the man who lost 3 sons. He suddenly understands that his boys died defending a gate that never even mattered. It was a decoy. The enemy was already inside, feasting on their world.
This just blows the council apart. You have one side, led by a heartbroken Talrian, saying, "Let's die with honor on our own soil." And you have the other side screaming, "Honor doesn't matter if we're all dead." It's this raw debate. Do you cling to your pride and die, or do you swallow it and live?
So, with everyone at each other's throats, they do the only thing they can. They turn to the big brain in the room, their main AI, Synapticore. And it just cuts through all the emotion with cold, hard numbers. It's analyzed over 1,200 potential new homeworlds, and the probability of finding a safe place to land? 94.3%. The odds are actually pretty good.
And Synapticore doesn't stop there. It gives them the top 3 choices. You've got Nerian 9, this pristine, untouched world where they can start fresh. Then there's Kepler 452b, a massive planet with all the resources they could ever want. And finally, Gliese 667cc, a stable world in a 3-star system. Imagine a home with 3 suns in the sky. For the first time, hope starts to feel like a real, actual plan.
Okay, so the mood is incredibly heavy. The fate of a species is on the line. And right at that moment, this quirky, kind of weird voice pipes up. It's a much smaller AI named Vornob. And apparently, it just became self-aware like last week. And it wants to know if it gets to vote.
This little AI, all of 6 days old, presents its own math. And its logic is just beautifully simple. It says, okay, if we stay, our chance of survival is 2.7%. If we leave, it's 34.6%. Then it just adds, I prefer the bigger number. It's not weighed down by honor or history. It just knows that a bigger chance of survival is better than a smaller one. Hard to argue with that?
That little moment of comic relief breaks the tension, but then it's right back to the grim reality. Talrian puts the final numbers up for everyone to see. They started this war with 12 million people. They've lost over 2.5 million. What's left? About 9 million souls.
And that's the number that really matters, isn't it? 9 million. That's not a statistic on a screen. That's 9 million people. 9 million lives, families, futures, all hanging in the balance, waiting for this one vote.
And then Vornob speaks up again. The little AI has been running calculations like crazy in the background, and it flashes a new number up on the display. It's not the number of survivors. It's the total capacity of their entire evacuation fleet. Every single ship, crammed to the gills.
The number is 9 million. It's the same number. They match perfectly. Can you imagine that? In this moment of utter despair, they get this statistical miracle. They have exactly enough room. They can save everyone. Not one single person has to be left behind.
And that changes everything. The debate is over. The vote is called, and hands go up all over the chamber. The exodus is on. And as the decision is made, that cold, fearful blue light in the room finally warms up, shifting into this beautiful, hopeful gold.
So the council members file out, each one going to say goodbye to their world in their own way. And someone asks R'lyeh what keeps her going, and her answer is so simple but so powerful. She says that for her people, curiosity has always been stronger than fear. It's not just about running away, it's about running towards whatever comes next.
So think about that. An entire civilization, faced with total annihilation, chose to gamble on the unknown. They walked away from 10,000 years of history, from their homes, from everything they knew, just for a chance at a future. Which really makes you wonder, right? If you had to make that same choice, if you had to leave it all behind, what would you take with you?